So a lot of my friends are super sad about their kids growing up and starting middle school. And I look around and I think, I must be totally bizarre because I'm so excited about my son starting middle school. I feel like he's finally going to be really fun and really cool to hang out with. So, yeah, I've got a little bit of advice for middle school parents. When I was in middle school, I was hard on my mom. I was a good kid. I liked to make good choices. I loved school and learning and doing my best. But my mom came to every one of my events, every play, spelling bee, gymnastics meet, cheerleading competition, softball game, and she cheered so loudly, which is awesome, right? But in my middle school brain, it was humiliating. And so instead of focusing on the fact that my mom was there cheering me on and what a gift that was to me, I was horrified. So yeah, I get it. I get it that middle schoolers aren't that easy. I just think this is going to be the best time ever. Think about it. It's a time of so many firsts. You've got first dances, first hallway passing periods, first time you're passing notes to friends or probably texting friends. We did notes when I was in middle school. Maybe first kisses. Yikes. So you've got first cool science teachers and first track meets. I just think it's such a fun time. And I think for middle school parents, your child is going to surprise you. They're going to take on more than you ever thought possible, and they're going to succeed a lot of the time, and it's really going to impress you. So the other thing, though, is your middle school child is probably going to be a punk sometimes. That's reality. I spend a lot of time with middle school kids. They're probably going to be a punk sometimes, but it's just because he's trying to pull away from you and become who he is supposed to be. And he's doing that through trial and error. So he's trying to figure that out. And he may not become exactly what you had pictured for your child, but he's going to become more of who he is supposed to be as a unique individual without so much hand-holding from you, which is a little scary for parents, but it's so good for these kids. But I feel like your middle school child still needs you desperately. So there are a few things that I would suggest. One is remember that wonderful, darling, sweet, delightful children who were raised right with good parents and supportive families still make terrible choices sometimes. They just do. It doesn't mean they're a bad person. It doesn't mean you're a bad parent. But don't make excuses and don't stick your head in the sand and ignore it. Try to make those mistakes uncomfortable for your child so that they don't make that same mistake over and over. Also, try not to be too emotional. Your middle school student is going to be emotional enough for both of you, so try to be cool if you can. Take deep breaths. Your child hasn't been possessed by a demon. They will come back to you, but just give them some time and some patience. Also, try to pick your battles and not make your parenting decisions based on guilt or feeling like someone's going to judge you. So maybe your child dyed her hair blue without your permission, but she cares really deeply about her friends and family and animal rights and recycling. So you know what? The blue hair doesn't seem like that big of a deal. So try to make the small things small and the big things big. Have big celebrations too. I know these kids, these middle school students, are a little bit like a roller coaster, but you have to take the bad with the good. They're emotional sometimes, but that also means that they care really deeply. They can be self-centered, but that also means that they might be really reflective. It's a tough time for parents, but don't miss out on the incredible steps that your child is making because you're white-knuckling it all the way through. Middle school kids are silly and clever and inspiring. They're surprising and generous and brave and smart and funny and wild and difficult and wise and welcoming and open-minded and childish and so, so, so much fun. So let's just see if I can follow my own advice because my little baby is starting middle school. My name is Quinn Showalter, and this was my brief but spectacular take on the ups and downs of middle school.